It's time. An in-depth bookshelf tour. I'm gonna take you through each and every book that I have on my bookshelf. Hi you guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're doing very nice. I'm sending a lot of hugs and positivity to all of you. Hi, if you're new, welcome to the channel. I really hope you enjoy the content, and if you do, please do consider subscribing. Also, if this is the first video you're watching, perfection, because you know exactly the kind of books I have in my collection, and you can decide for yourself if this is the channel that will cater to you, because I do a lot of bookish content on this channel, reading vlogs, recommendations, whatnot, along with doing some lifestyle content. So basically we're going to be book besties who have coffee once in a while and just catch up with day-to-day things, you know. Before we get into me showing you each and every book that is there on each shelf, let me tell you how I have decided to bifurcate the shelves, how I've decided to organize the books in each shelf. This shelf is all about my special editions. This shelf is the Aanchal Rani reading list shelf. Okay, so all of like my 5-star, 6-star reads, but also hear me out, there are some 5-star, 6-star reads that are not there in this shelf because they're just not there on the Aanchal Rani reading list. There are books that I gave 3 to 4 stars, but they're still there in that shelf because they somehow did affect my life. They somehow did change my life, and that is why it is there in that shelf. So that's just how special that shelf is to me. If something was to happen and I only had to keep a chunk of my books, it would be that shelf. Below that we have the thriller mystery shelf, and below that we have my physical TBR. Another thing to know, I'm not going to be sharing my physical TBR, so the books that is there on my TBR cart and the shelves on that side, I'm only going to be talking about books that are there in these shelves, because I have already made a video in which I am showing you each and every book that I have in the TBR cart and those shelves. Moving on to this side, we have the romance genre, we have the fantasy genre. Another mix-up over here is that because most of the fantasy books that I read, they come in a series, this is a little bit of a mix of fantasy books and series also. I wanted to keep all of the series together and I wanted to keep all of the fantasy books together, but it's just like a mess. Okay, so I just kept all of the series and fantasy books together. Then we have the historical fiction, literary fiction shelf down here, and below that we have the non-fiction shelf. There is a reason you cannot see it, and that's because I'm not going to share it with you guys. If you guys want an in-depth tour of my non-fiction shelf, you have to comment down below. I can show it all to you guys and also recommend the best ones from there. Now that you have a vague idea of my entire bookshelf, I just want to say that they're still not perfect. I may miss out on some books. Some shelves may carry books from another genres. You know, there will be like mishappenings like this here and there because it's not perfect. I'm not perfect, but I really do hope you enjoy the video. And now let's just get into it. We are starting with the romance shelf. The Light We Lost by Jill Santopolo, We Were Liars by E. Lockhart, Fake Dates and Mooncakes by Cher Lee, History Is All You Left Me by Adam Silvera, Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I don't know the dust jacket of this book, but The Lines We Cross by Randa Abdel Fattah, It's All Your Fault by Paul Rudnick, What If You and Me by Ronnie Lauren, Nothing Like the Movies by Lynn Painter. Actually, like the first book is better than the movies by Lynn Painter. Beach Rivals by Georgie Tinley, Loveless by Alice Oseman, Radio Silence by Alice Oseman. Why is this book here? It's supposed to be here. I'm gonna put it over here after this video. The Catch by Emilia, Set on You by Emilia, X's and O's by Emilia. Next up is my Ali Hazelwood collection, Second Made by Ali Hazelwood, The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. Am I saying the author's name over and over again? Love Theoretically, Love on the Brain, Not in Love, Deep End. So literally most of her books. If He Had Been With Me by Laura Nowlin, If Only I Had Told Her by Laura Nowlin, The Roughest Draft by Austin Sigmund Broca and Emily Wibberley, Sophie's World by Jocelyn Garder, It Happened One Summer by Tessa Bailey, The Library of Lost Things by Laura Taylor Namey, One True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid, The Other Valley by Scott Alexander Howard. This is the proof copy that I have, and then the finished copy of The Other Valley, Secretly Yours by Tessa Bailey, Behind the Net by Stephanie Archer, Love on the Second Read by Mika De Leon, Choto by Varg Gupta. Again, I don't know, no, actually it does have romance in it. The Shape of Water by Daniel Kraus. I love this book so much. The Burnout by Sophie Kinsella. Obsessed with this book. Happy Place by Emily Henry, which by the way is a signed copy. Okay, this is like my prized possession. Book Lovers by Emily Henry, Beach Read, People We Meet on Vacation, Great Big Beautiful Life, which is her latest release, Funny Story. I have the proof copy of Funny Story. I don't have the final copy. The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston and The Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston. I have a little Ganesh Ji up there. I Fell in Love by Lang Kelly, Fault in Our Stars by John Green, The Summer of Broken Rules by K.L. Walter, Love Light Farms, In the Weed, Mixed Signals and Business Casual by B.K. Borison. Me Before You by Jojo Moyes. The Little Bookshop of Lonely Hearts by Anne Darling. You Made a Fool of Death with Your Beauty by Awaiki Amazi. In a New York Minute by Kate Spencer. Business or Pleasure by Rachel Lynn Solomon. The Love Wager by Lynn Painter. Love Redesigned by Lauren Asher. You Again by Kate Goldbeck. Final Offer by Lauren Asher, the only book I liked from the Dreamland Billionaire series. Now we're moving to the fantasy / series shelf. Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy. I have this little trinket on my bookshelf. As you can see, like, this bird is just balancing on the Eiffel Tower, and this actually can also balance over here. Okay, this is something that I got from on New Year from Udaipur, and I love it so much. Warm Hands of Ghosts by Catherine Arden, which is on my physical TBR. I have not read this book. The Before the Coffee Gets Cold series. The Girl Who Drank the Moon by Kelly Barnhill. The Poppy War trilogy. Poppy War Burning God. I have the box set of the Mistborn trilogy and the box set of the ACOTAR series. The Visible Life of Addie LaRue, which is a historical fantasy by V.E. Schwab. Threads That Bind by Kika Hatsupolo. I really hope I'm taking the name right. I love the cover, and the second book is out. I really need to get it. First Bunny by Bora Chung. Yes, translated by Anton Hoare. Palace of Illusions by Chitra Banerjee Devakarni. Assistant to the Villain by Hannah Nicole Meyer. Aristotle and Dante Discover the Waters of the World. This is the second book. The first book is Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe. This is not a fantasy series, but it is a series, so it's at the series shelf. And then we have What You're Looking For Is in the Library by Michiko Aoyama, translated by Alison Watt. Masters of Death by Olivia Blake. Girl Goddess Queen by Bea Fitzgerald. Oh my god, I love this book so much. One for My Enemy by Olivia Blake. Then the Divine Rivals duology, Divine Rivals and Ruthless Vows. We have This Prized Possession, Lilith by Nikki Marmari. I love the book, and it's just insane that one of the best books that I've ever read is also comes with such a beautiful cover. Okay, absolutely obsessed. I love showing it off on the shelf. The Hunger Games trilogy. So The Hunger Games, Catching Fire and Mocking J. The Giver by Lois Lowry. Yet again, this is not fantasy, but it is a series. So we have The Devil Wears Prada and Revenge Wears Prada. Another standalone and one of my most favorite books ever. This also is going in this shelf. I don't know why it's here. The book is The House in the Cerulean Sea by T.J. Klune. The Inheritance Game trilogy. The Inheritance Games, The Hawthorne Legacy and The Final Gambit. These are both series, but I only have the first book. We have Shatter Me by Tahir Mafi. Tahir Mafi and Assassin's Blade by Sarah J. Maas. I don't know where the third book is of the series, but we have the Shiva trilogy, so The Immortals of Meluha and The Secrets of the Naga. Where is the third book? The Oath of Vairputras. Alia's Awakening by Vita Kane. The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. Binding 13 and Keeping 13 by Chloe Walsh. I don't know what the series is called, but A Touch of Darkness, A Touch of Malice and A Touch of Ruin by Scarlett St. Clair is a love story of Hades and Persephone. Good Girl's Guide to Murder trilogy. Good Girl's Guide to Murder. We have Good Girl, Bad Blood and As Good as Dead. And now it's time to move to the historical literary fiction shelf. First up, we have this little frame that I keep over there that Vasundhara sent to me because I hit 10k on my Instagram, which is literally the most adorable thing on earth. Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine by Gail Honeyman. The 40 Rules of Love by Elif Shafak, also going on that shelf. What is up with me? Why don't I have all of the books in that shelf? The Favorites by Lane Fargo. Triflers Need Not Apply by Camilla Bruce. She's Always Hungry by Eliza Clark. Tuesdays with Maury by Mitch Albom. Sense of an Ending by Julian Barnes. Catcher in the Rye by J.D. Salinger. Bodhi Girl by Murakami. Desire by Murakami. After Dark by Murakami. What I Talk About When I Talk About Running by Murakami. Vision Wood by Murakami. Kafka on the Shore by Murakami. Never Let Me Go by Kazuo Ishiguro. Miss I Sandwich by Mieko Kawakami. Gentleman of Peru by Andre Asima. Siddhartha by Herman Hesse. Begin Again by Emma Lord. The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. I Heard My Voice by Parinush Saini. On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous by Ocean Wong. And the Mountains Echoed by Khalid Hosseini. The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. 11 Minutes by Paulo Coelho. The Zahir by Paulo Coelho. The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. The Four Winds by Kristen Hanna. Good Material by Dolly Alderton. Rosarita by Anita Desai. The Wives by Lauren Weisberger. A Horse Walks Into the Bar by David Grossman. Normal People by Sally Rooney. I'm a Fan by Sheena Patel. The Liberation of Sita by Volga. I Am by Maggie O'Farrell. Turtles All the Way Down by John Green. 1Q8 for the entire trilogy by Murakami. Western Lane by Chetna Maru. Novelist as a Vocation by Murakami. The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. Link Commendator by Murakami. The Confession by Jesse Burton. Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. So Lucky by Donna Potter. If I seem sweaty and ugly, let's just ignore that. Moving on to my special editions shelf. Emergency Contact by Mary H.K. Choi. Yes, No, Maybe So by Becky Albertalli and Aisha Saeed. I used to have a paperback of this, and then I loved the book so much I got the hardcover. So it's not that special in terms of like the making, but it's very special to me and I find it absolutely beautiful. These books I keep like this. It's Iron Flame and Fourth Wing. Babel by Arif Kwang. Circe and Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. I have the special edition of both of the books. Obsessed with them. Red, White and Royal Blue. This is like another level special edition with like the inside, the cover. I also bought it at full price, okay, because I was that obsessed with just how pretty it is. I have two editions of Diary of a Young Girl by Anne Frank, and they are honestly both special editions. This one has silver edges, the hardcover. This one like actually feels like a diary to me. Honestly, this also feels like a diary to me. This one is the crossword special edition that I got. So then I have the iconic Six of Crows duology. Both of them have sprayed edges. Obsessed with these books. We also have the Heartstopper series ka first book, and all of the books are like really expensive, so it's gonna take me time for me to get the full collection, but I am very obsessed with this series, so I am going to get all of the volumes. Call Me By Your Name, yellow sprayed edges, and absolutely in love with this cover. I think it's a 10th anniversary edition. The Midnight Library, it's hardcover and it has sprayed edges. That is the special edition part of it. Anxious People, it is not very special in terms of the edition, but it is a hardcover that I bought at full price, and it is one of the best books that I've ever read in my entire life. And all of the books that I have by Frederick Bachman, they're all paperback, you know, so I consider this a special edition. Then I have The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath, absolute special edition. First of all, it's a hardcover. Just like look at that, look at the end pages. It's fig, which you only know if you have read the book, and it's pink on the inside. Love this edition so much. Moving on to some of my most favorite books ever. The Wrath and Dawn duology, The Wrath and Dawn and the Rose and Dagger. Patowns by John Green. The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Beautiful Ugly by Alice Feeney. Almond by Won Pyong Son. The Reading List by Sarah Nisha Adams. Strange Sally Diamond by Liz Nugent. Lovely War by Julie Berry. Hello Beautiful by Anne Napolitano. Legends and Lattes and Bookshops and Bone Dust by Travis Baldry. And of course the iconic Alone With You in the Ether by Olivia Blake. The Last Word by Taylor Adams. Lessons in Chemistry by Bonnie Garment. The Women by Kristen Hanna. Carrie Soto is Back by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This is absolute like insane. Like I look at that and I'm like filled with so much gratitude. I don't know how to express it, because they are literally all hardcovers, the most beautiful hardcovers ever, and they're very heavy also. How It Feels to Float by Helena Fox. Like I am obsessed with this book. The Forest of Enchantments by Chitra Banerjee Devakarani. A Study in Drowning by Ava Reid. Just like look at that book. Just like look at that book. How to Age Disgracefully by Claire Pooley. The Book of Doors by Gareth Brown. Happiness Falls by Angie Kim. The Book of Everlasting Things by Anchal Malhotra. Obsessed. Bear Town by Frederick Bachman, which is a recent edition. Days at the Murasaki Bookshop by Satoshi Yagasawa. The People on Platform 5 by Claire Pooley. The Authenticity Project by Claire Pooley. Woman Eating by Claire Corda. The Book Thief, obviously. I love this edition also, by the way. Obsessed with it, by Marcus Zusak. The Boy in Striped Pajamas by John Boyne. The House That Spoke by Zuni Chopra. Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close. They Both Die at the End. The Boy at the Back of the Class. And Little Women. Now I'm gonna add these three over there. Lantern of Lost Memories by Sanaka Hiragi. Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Behind Her Eyes by Sarah Pinbrook. My Roommate is a Vampire by Jenna Levine. Rock Paper Scissors by Alice Feeney. Wrong Place Wrong Time by Gillian McAllister. Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. I have one edition of it over there and this one over here. The Kite Runner and 1,000 Splendid Suns by Khaled Hosseini, obviously. A Little Life, both the editions that I own. A Man Called Avi by Frederick Bachman. Cleopatra and Frankenstein by Coco Meller. I'm gonna set that and we are moving on to the thriller shelf. I shot for the shelf and I did not even, like I was not shooting. I Hear You by Nidhi Upadhyay, and then my Frida McFadden collection, The Housemaid's Secret, The Housemaid, then we have The Inmate and The Locked Door. Sharp Objects by Gillian Flynn. Stranger by Albert Camus, which is actually a classic, but also it's a story basically of a man killing a man. So that's why it's in the thriller section. American Psycho. You and Hidden Bodies by Carolyn Kepner. Into the Water by Paula Hawkins. Then the third and the fourth part, For You and Only You and You Love Me by Carolyn Kepnes. Then we have my Agatha Christie collection, Mysterious Affair at Style, ABC Murderers, Murder on the Orient Express, A Murder is Announced, Peril at End House, Merger of Roger Ackroyd, and Then There Were None, The Reappearance of Rachel Price, and Five Survive by Holly Jackson, The House Across the Lake by Riley Sager, Murder Undercover by Karina Alexson, which is actually on my physical TBR, How to Kill Men and Get Away with It by Kate Brent, Kate Brent, Finlay Donovan is Killing It, Finlay Donovan Knocks Him Dead, Dark Matter by Blake Crouch, The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides, The Maid by Nita Prose, How to Kill Your Family by Bella Mackie, Misery by Stephen King, When She Was Gone by Lisa Jewell, The Family Upstairs by Lisa Jewell, Sometimes I Lie by Alice Feeney, I Know Who You Are by Alice Feeney. I have stood up for the rest of the books. Every time I go on vacation, someone dies by Catherine Mack, We Used to Live Here by Marcus Cliver, My Husband by Maud Ventura, The Girl on the Train by Paula Hawken, The Fury by Alex Michaelides, The Center by Aisha Manazir Siddiqui, Penance by Eliza Clark, which is trauma in a book, Big Swiss by Jen Began, Yellow Face by Arif Kwang, Kala by Colin Walsh, Listen for the Lie by Amy Tintera, The American Boyfriend by Ivy Niao, The Family Remains, which is the second part of The Family Upstairs by Lisa Jewell, and finally None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell, and that was the last book. Now also we have the entire Powerless trilogy, which I reread, so it's on my bed. And apart from that, I think those are all of the works that is there in this shelf. Now I'm gonna count how many books are there on my shelf, and I'm gonna tell you exactly how many books I own, which I have read already. So this is not including my physical TBR. Okay, this is freaky, but I have exactly 350 books right now which I have read already. Like, I have not counted the physical TBR, and I have counted the non-fiction books because I have read all of those non-fiction books. So 350 books I own which I have read already, and I have around 150 or 180 books. Let's round it up to 200 because I bought new books recently. So that's around 550 books that I own, and I am actually quite happy with that number because I don't keep books that are like not absolute gems for me. Okay, like if I look at the book and I don't feel joy in my heart, I am not going to keep that book. And so these books are like literally my treasures. I think about them every single day. Okay, and for that number to be around 350 is so good, because just like imagine the amount of joy that I have accumulated in my life from these books and how they have like changed my life and whatnot. So 350 books, including my physical TBR, around 550 books for anybody who was curious. With that, we come towards the end of this video. I really hope you enjoyed the video. I am sorry I have started looking ugly by the end of it, but it is what it is, and it's finally out. I know a lot of you really wanted me to make this video, so I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Do subscribe if you enjoyed, okay?